Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 2746x6DFG. This is a thermal barrier commercial saddle threshold in a dark bronze anodized finish. This is a big threshold. This is about 12 inch, a little bit longer than that. It is the 2746 is representative of this half saddle portion here. When you give it the by 6, you're inferring that you're going to be doing two 6-inch pieces. The D in the part number stands for that dark bronze finish. You can also do this in A for mill aluminum and G for gold anodized. The FG is going to give you that thermal barrier sort of construction where basically they are sliding two of the 2746s together. There's going to be an integrated piece of thermoplastic material. I'll try to push out a little bit here so you can see it. Right there. A little dark on the camera there to see that. And basically the purpose of this material, this disparate material, is to retard the transmission of energy from one side of the threshold to the other. Where are you going to see this installed? Any exterior application. I am witness to how effective a thermal break threshold is. Thermal break threshold is. I've seen these installed in applications where it was 12 degree Fahrenheit outside, and on the inside of that threshold, it was basically room temperature. Slightly colder because, of course, it's sitting on a concrete slab, but in no way was that extreme cold temperature transferred through the entire piece of threshold. Okay, 12-inch wide. Actually, this is 12 1/8 inch wide. There is an image below this video showing the important dimensional properties. It's 12 1/8 inch, even though this actual piece. Well, let me have it bent a little bit. Yeah, so just heavy on 12 inch. That 1/8 of an inch is going to be taken up by the fact that you've got that thermal break in there. It's 1/4 inch rise, which is certainly ADA compliant, as is 1/2 inch as well, although 1/4 inch height was the first ADA compliant height. It was the only ADA compliant height, 1/4 inch. Where are you going to see a thermal break? Again, any exterior application known to be effective. If it was up to me, every exterior door would have inherently a thermal break threshold because of how effective they are at transitioning, translating, I should say, into a no loss of energy, or very little loss of energy scenario. Although they're noticeably more expensive is the bottom line. So that's certainly why you don't see them all the time. However, there are job specifications where thermal break is the mandatory application, where you're going to have not only a thermal break saddle threshold or a thermal break threshold, but you're going to have a thermal break hollow metal frame as well. So you'll see those hand in hand. Something so wide, obviously, if you've got a jamb that is incredibly wide, much wider than standard, you could use something that would be dimensionally compatible. If you had a 18-inch wall and you were going in with 14-inch jam depth frames, you're going to want a deep threshold like this. You put in a 5-inch wide and it's just going to look funny, is the bottom line. Other people will use a standard 5 3/4 frame. They might have a 14-inch thick wall, maybe a wall parking garage where you've got an old building that has been converted to condos. You're going to have an application where occasionally you're going to see that very thick sort of wall with a standard frame. Yes. And what's going to happen is, let's say you've got a 3-foot wide door. Your opening is, let's say, 40 inch or thereabouts. You want to be able to have the threshold bolted to the wall, but you're going to offset it towards the inside of the opening. But you want to have the threshold run long all the way to the face of the brick. So for this scenario, you would order a threshold that would be 40 or 41 or 40, whatever you need. You would then cope the profile of the threshold into the frame so that you can then take the threshold, install it, and tip it down and have the threshold run all the way long to the brick itself to give you the ability to seal off and protect the bottom part of the hollow metal frame application. Coping a threshold around the bottom of a jamb, not often, but not unheard of either. So that might be another application where you use something so wide. Wherever you can come up with using, quite frankly, something so deep like a 12-inch threshold that suits your needs, great. That's good. Now, we talked about the finishes, we talked about where you use it, the dimensional properties we went over. This will be listed in the website in all the common lengths, from 2 foot to 8 foot, generally in 6-inch increments and oftentimes in increments much closer. You can also do this in lengths probably up to about 15 feet. We just don't list them past 8 foot because of the cost to ship the material can be obscene for a single piece because it can't go common shipping parcel package methods of transit. It has to go common carrier. But if you have need for a longer length than 8 foot, let us know. We'll be happy to quote that for you. Now, if you do have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and simply indicate in the comment field the length that you would like for us to cut the material back to. The reasoning is that's a lot of threshold to cut. Okay, you might not want to cut it, you might not have the tool to cut it, you might just not have the desire to cut it. The advantage of us cutting it, though, is we'll get it all trimmed, get it assembled, but also if this was the real genuine article, and this of course is just a sample piece, you would have some countersinks about 4 or 5 inches from the end of each piece. If you were to take, let's say, a 4-foot piece and cut it down to maybe 42-inch or 44-inch, you're going to eliminate that first stack of countersunk holes. And screws will be provided. They're generally about a number 10 by 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches. Flathead Phillips in a complementary finish. Probably be a wood screw, so it's not threaded all the way up. So if you want to save yourself the effort of having to not only cut, but drill, and the thing that I find is a challenge for lots of installers is countersinking the hole. They can drill a hole, but then you realize, oh gosh, I need a countersink. So you either don't have a 3/4 inch diameter high-speed steel drill bit and you don't have a countersink to get that by, and then you're kind of stuck. I see a lot of thresholds that are installed with a flathead screw sitting in just a hole. It's a matter of time before that fails. All the force this way, the lateral force is going to just work that screw loose over time. How many thresholds have you walked over, hit the threshold, and heard a clank? Well, that's the threshold hitting the floor. Working that poor installation even worse and worse. If it was me, and it can be provided to you this way, I would be using machine screws and lead anchors. It's an upcharge to do that. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to coordinate and assemble a threshold with that sort of anchoring system for you if you need it. But if you're going into concrete or something that will take a lead anchor, machine bolts, lead anchors, that's the way to keep it secure as best as possible. Okay. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Pemko items that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Pemko number 2746x6DFG, thermal brake, dark bronze, 12-inch saddle type threshold, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.